Hello everyone, it's Sunday, May 12th. This is Liam McMahon with the Weekend Moving Average video. I had a request from a member to go over gold and silver. So I'm going to start with the gold and silver. I'm actually going to start with silver, then go to gold. And then I'm going to jump, we're going to take a little bit of a detailed look at Euro Aussie for this week to see if there's anything there that we may have going forward. So, please take a moment to pause the recording and read the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen, and then we will get started. Alright, so here we have a daily chart of silver. You can see that it's been in a pretty significant decline, really, since it hit a high at 35.44 back last October. We've fallen precipitously, really, since then, finishing with this major impulsive drop back here in April 12th and April 13th, or April 15th, it looks like. So Friday and a Monday sell-off here for silver. We hit a low at 22. We've rallied since then, but this rally has to be the most corrective looking rally I've ever seen. It really looks like it's just forming a pennant, some sort of version of a bear flag here. If we kick out to the 4-hour chart, that becomes even more painfully obvious. If we draw some of our trend lines, we did actually briefly breach the bottom of this flag, but we seem to have rallied back above it. You'll see actually when we look at gold that gold did something similar. But if you look at the moving averages here, you can see that they've really pushed they've pushed silver lower. They've sort of been the backbone of this rally farther, this rally lower. And when we opened up some space here with this major decline, the silver quickly hurried to sort of fill up that decline and get these moving averages caught up. You can see they have caught up. We tested this 100 period EMA here on the 4-hour chart once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, maybe 5 times last week and the week before. And we're coming up to test it again as well as this top of this trend line. So that's really about 24 to 24.15 will be the major resistance area for silver. Above that, the next level will be 25. That's where this 200 period EMA comes in. If we click back out to the daily chart, you can see that we do have some significant resistance then at 26, 27, and 29. So really, every major dollar figure, every whole number seems to bear a significant amount of resistance for silver. And if you trade silver, which I should hasten to add that I don't, those are the levels you want to be keeping an eye on. Last but not least, let's draw it from here. We do have this significant trend line resistance that will likely come in somewhere around 28 or so. Really, as long as we stay below this trend line, you would think bears are in control. Only a breakout above this trend line, which would also put us above some of this significant moving average resistance. That would be the only thing to really get silver bulls encouraged. Now, if we take a look at gold futures, you can see we had a nasty candle here on Friday. We dipped down to as low as 1420 before rallying to finish the day. If we look at this on an hourly chart, you can see exactly how brutal of a move it was. Put an hourly close here outside of this very consistent range. We broke down, let's see, we hit 1418.40 or so was the low. And then we reversed higher, breaking back up into the range, meaning that as long as we're above this range, kind of got to be a little nervous shorting gold. There's still some very significant resistance here, fib and moving average. All right, so this 618 fib comes in here right at this 50, 100, and 200 hour EMA cluster, just sort of sitting right around 1454 to 1460 or so would be the range. That is some major support. We're testing the 50% fib right now. We could be seeing a quick false move higher before the pair really breaks down and clears these 1420 lows and continues lower. The daily chart, obviously, fairly bearish here. Let's clear some of these drawings. We are still pretty well below this 50-day EMA, which you can see has been pretty decent resistance lately. That would cover rallies up to about 15.15. As far as fib resistance here on gold, That 50-day EMA corresponds pretty well with the 38.2% fib, but the real resistance area, if we do continue to rally, will be this 100-day EMA, 50% fib, and significant previous support sitting here around 1560 or so. So those are the levels to keep an eye on for gold. Same as silver, I view this rally as an opportunity to establish shorts on gold. Again, not an asset class that I trade, but I do think that this sell-off that we saw here from 1800 is the first move lower in an eventual sort of impulsive series of moves back down to maybe the 1000 figure. You can see here on the weekly time frame how long we spent above the key moving averages. Finally, we made a lower low. We broke below these previous lows here around 1521, and we've headed lower since then. We're below the 50 and 100 week moving averages, sitting right above the 200, and it looks like there's a possibility for a crossover in the coming weeks. So bearish gold, bearish silver, but don't be overly eager to establish some shorts early in the week, as we could see a little bit more upside before the downtrend resumes. Okay, let's jump to Euro Aussie. Do the daily chart, clear some of these drawings. Okay, so on the daily chart of Euro Aussie, what are we looking at? First off, we're looking to see that we broke above the 618% fib. We're testing the 78.6% fib. I don't put a lot of stock in that fib. I don't find it to be as effective at predicting bigger moves as than the 618. But that is something to consider. So because fibs aren't super helpful, we have to go to trend lines. We do still have this very nice channel. It's still holding. I've pointed this out before. At some point, this sort of steep channel is going to have to break down and correct. Just can't maintain this sort of steep momentum forever. Watch, obviously, these previous highs at 131.90 for that potential double top opportunity. As far as moving averages go, we did complete a full crossover. We have a full bullish contingent of daily moving averages here, with the 50 trading above the 100, trading above the 200. We have put in some significant distance between them, however, between price and the moving averages. The 50 EMA is at 126.58, which is over 300 pips below where we're currently trading right now. So we could begin to see some sort of correction from Euro Aussie. Perhaps a move something like this before a final impulsive move higher. That would be something to keep an eye on. I would look to short a break of this channel for a move back down to test these moving averages, should we get something like that. From a weekly perspective, very quickly, you can see that we do have a lot of highs sitting up here. We're sitting, let's see, just at these previous swing highs back here from last May. And then we have this 132 area where we fell last time around as well. Weekly fibs. Pretty bullish. You can see we held this 618% fib perfectly on the rally from the 116 lows to those 132 highs. That does to me suggest that we may be seeing new highs in Euro Aussie sooner rather than later. With this area down here still does look like some sort of exaggerated right shoulder of a inverse head and shoulders, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. Looking for opportunities to short on that daily chart for a move down, but if you want to keep in mind the overall Fibonacci picture here for Euro Aussie does appear to be bullish, and I do expect us to eventually break above these 132 highs, probably to test this 200-week moving average, which sits at 137.25. So that's what I'm looking for here. Gold, silver, and Euro Aussie. Good luck trading this week. As always, if you have questions, I will be in the chat room. I'll be happy to talk to you there. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.